Okay, welcome to my revision lecture on learning curves. The thing about learning is the more you do something, and this applies to performance management questions in the exam, the faster you become at it and the better you become at it, probably. Yeah. So that's what learning curves is all about. The conditions for a learning curve and the problems associated with it is a popular topic in the PM exam. You've got to calculate cost per unit or cost for a period where the learning curve exists, is typical. Expect to use that formula, which we all don't seem to like, to calculate hours and costs. Now that is important. Note it says hours, but you also need to read the question because it could say costs. So you need to times the hours by the labour rate, and that is a trick. And calculations of cost during learning and after the learning period are also quite likely. And they come up in all sections of the exam. Okay, so learning curves is quite a key too. So this is our learning curve. What we have here is the fact that as output increases, cumulative output doubles, the time falls by a fixed percentage of the previous time. And that would be the learning rate. Okay, the learning rate. Now, we're going to keep learning, aren't we, all the way through to a certain point. So there'll come to a point where we've got cumulative output, which has become quite high, and we've reached no further improvement. And that will be called the steady state. So you have this formula up here, which you're given in the exam. So imagine that you're making a scooter, and the first time you make this scooter, you're spending 12 hours making the scooter. Now, as you make more and more scooters, you learn to be more efficient. And that's basically what it's saying. So potentially when you've made 10 scooters cumulatively, the average time to make that scooter has fallen to 8 hours per scooter. And that would be the learning effect. Now, what is key also in the exam is for you to realize the lower the learning rate, the quicker the workforce becomes more productive. So a learning rate of 80% is better than a learning rate of 90. All right, so get that into your heads because that's important. The lower the learning rate, the quicker they are. And I'll show you that numerically. So here, I've got a table. This is a tabular approach. You've got to assume a learning rate of 90%. And remember, it applies as output doubles. So this cumulative average time per unit is what I've said there. The cumulative output doubles, the cumulative average time per unit falls to a percentage of the previous one. The first batch or the first unit takes 50 hours, okay? But as we double, so we go from 1 to 2 batches, that's 1 learning period. You times that by 90%, which is the learning rate, and it becomes 45. So pop that into your calculator. 90% of 50 is 45. So 2 batches are going to take 90 hours, whereas 1 batch took 50. And that's because of a learning rate of 90%. As we then double again, the learning rate can be applied again by 90%. So 90% of 45 is now 40.5. So the 4 batches now take 162 hours. And then we learn again by doubling 4 to 8. So we now have 3 learning periods, 3 growth effectively periods. And we've fallen now to 36.45. Now, this approach doesn't get given to you in the formula in the exam. This is an understanding, and I suggest you learn this. This formula is what you're going to need in the exam. It's the cumulative average time, which is this cumulative average time per unit, is A times by the learning rate to the number of growth periods. Right, so A is the 50. There's 3 learning periods, 1, 2, 3. So that's your N. And the learning rate is 0.9. We don't put 90% in, we put it in as a decimal. That's really important, everybody. Put it in as a decimal. Formulaically like this, you can do it the tabular approach, but you could just use the formula. So an output of 8, so at an output of 8, we get 50 times 0.9 3 times to the power of 3 equals 36.45. Basically, that is 50 times 0.9 times 0.9 times 0.9 3 times. You can use that to help you answer questions, and I'll show you that in a question in a minute. Commit that one to memory. That's a really good thing to have learned and understood. Right, so then there's the dreaded formula. So this is the exam formula that you get. And so Y is the cumulative average time per unit. That's the Y. X is the cumulative number of units, the number of units that you've done so far. So in our previous example, we were at 8, weren't we? The cumulative number of units. A is the time taken for the first unit of our output, where we're at 1 unit. And in our previous example, that was 50. And then the coefficient of learning is log of the learning rate used as a decimal over log of 2. I'm now going to show you that numerically to help you. A firm's workforce experiences a 90% learning rate, so I'm using the same examples I showed you in the tabular format. The budgeted time for the first batch is 50 hours. Using the formula y equals xa to the b, calculate the time to produce A, the first 8 batches in total, and B, the 9th batch only. Now, this is a definite process that you need to learn. This is something you're just going to have to repeat. So I now got you on a PDF so that I can write on it and help you through this. I also want to be able to show you using a calculator. We're now going to be using this formula, y equals ax to the b. Now remember, A was 50, x is 8. The learning rate is 0.9 because you use the decimal. And in a calculator, which I have my scientific calculator here, B is log R, which is the learning rate, to log 2. So it's log 0.9 over log 2. So you do that by doing log 0.9, close the brackets, divided by log 2. You don't need to close the brackets, but it's best to close those brackets. And you can see that comes out as minus 0.150030934, okay? You can keep that if you've got a memory in your calculator, or you can decide to round it to probably, in this case, you can do it to 3 decimal places because there's 2 zeros. Or you can actually do the formula all in one go, but let's do it in stages. Right, so the first 8 batches in total, therefore, using my calculator, is y, the A is 50, the x, because we're using the 8 batches, and therefore the learning rate log over 2 is 0.152 minus. So in your calculator, you can do it like this, 50 times 8. And if your calculator's like mine, it's the x to the little box. And then you put minus 0.152. And there you get 36.45. Okay, now I've rounded that up. And because it's 8 batches, we need the cumulative time for the 8 batches, which is times it by 8. So you keep it in your calculator and you get 2916. That directly is the same figure you would have seen when I used the tabular approach. Now I want to just show you if you want to do it all in one go. If you do it all in one go, you don't have to calculate the B. So you can literally do it like this, all in one go. 50 times 8 to the log 0.9 divided by log 2, close the brackets, equals 36.5 as before, and then we times it by the 8. So that's a shortcut, and because if you're doing remote invigilation, it's hard to just keep writing everything down on your scratch pad. So you can do it all in the calculator. So it's 291.6, the same answer as before. Right, the next question was the 9th batch only. Now you have to see this as being, I want to know what it took to do the extra batch, the 9th batch. To calculate the time for the 9th batch, we need to calculate how long it takes to make the 9 and then deduct this from the 8, okay? Because this is the average time, it's not the actual 9th batch, it's the average. So we'd find the 9 batches by using the formula again, but we replace the 8 over here with the 9. So it's all the same figures. I'll just pop that into the calculator one more time. So it's 50. And now we're changing the 8 to be the 9th batch to the minus 0.152. And therefore that's 35,803.4. I then times that by 9 and I get 322.23. We found the 9 batches. We know the 8 batches, so therefore we take one away from the other. So the total time for the 9 batches is 322. The total time for the 8th batches is 291.6. So for the 9th batch, it's 30.63. Hopefully you can see that you couldn't just calculate the average time for the 9th batch, because that's the average over 9 batches. It's not the actual 9th batch. Okay, so now it's time for you to get practicing those exam questions on the CBE software.